Was so bingeable. It was so entertaining. I couldn't put it down. Hello besties, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to episode 5 of my TBR jar chooses my reads. I want to confess something. I read 2 books between episode 4 and this episode. I read 2 books. The first one is The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. I have talked to you before about this book in one of my most anticipated releases, I think for the month of September. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars because I couldn't put it down, to be honest. Even though some things I didn't agree with, like, for example, the time for a person to have that kind of power on people and to be able to manipulate them. It's about a cult, by the way. It takes much longer. It does not happen in the span of like a couple of months or a school year. They are at a university or a campus, a college setting, and I really loved the setting so much. But everything that happened in between, and like, he's charming and everything, like charismatic, and like mixing lies with truth, twisting realities. It has social commentary. And the focus of the book, as I said, is manipulation and how we can twist realities to make people angry and to make people act in a way that aligns with our own objectives and agenda. And I really couldn't put it down. It was very suspenseful. The other book that I read is called Haunting the Hunter by Hanna Harp. I heard about this book through her Instagram reels because she just got me through her reels. Like, it is the first book that I read where the reader, me, I was a part of the story. So when you open the book, you start reading, you are a part of the story, of the main characters in the story. I know it sounds like weird. How does it work? But I really enjoyed it, especially the audiobook. If you plan to read this book, it's a dark paranormal romance. You have demons, gods, witches, and a coven, and a brother who would do anything. His name is 𝐂𝐿, to protect his sister, and I really enjoyed it. It is straightforward. It's like watching a paranormal TV show. We don't have a lot of characters, so it's very easy to read. The world building, it is a paranormal romance, so it's in our world, and the story is interesting enough to keep you reading, and the audiobook is excellent. We have Teddy Hamilton, yes, we have Christina Leatherwood, and we have M.K. Blackwood. It was so good. And it wasn't that long either. The book is quite short, and it was such a ride. This is going to be a duet, and I'm definitely going to read book 2. And yes, highly recommended if you want a quick paranormal romance, dark paranormal romance read. I think you will enjoy this one. Quick, fun, entertaining. Yes. Okay. Now for the next reads. I really enjoyed my Kari Lake ride, and I cannot wait for Eldritch to be released in audiobook format so I can read it. But let's see. I want a thriller or a horror also in this selection, so okay. Yes, thank you. This is Breathe In, Bleed Out. This is a slasher, and I promised myself to read at least one slasher this fall season. Thank you so much. The TBR jar knows what I want. So I'm very excited about this one. Breathe In, Bleed Out. Let me just Google and see. Okay, yes, this is what I highlighted. Nothing too complicated. A fun, campy slasher read. It executes Scooby-Doo vibes, and I don't mind it. It's not too extreme, but still had unique fun. Very excited about this one, especially after reading Kari Lake. That's why I picked up The Scammer and Haunting the Hunter, because they are heavy on world building, but they were so good. As I said, 6 stars. Anathema, phenomenal. Okay, let's see. Ooh, another blue. Pen pal. When I tell you I had this book on my radar for the longest time, everyone kept raving about the plot twist at the end of the book. That's what I remember from this book. I remember the cover. I put it here or here. And I remember that everyone had their jaw on the floor when they read the plot twist at the end of the book. So I'm very, very eager to read this one. This is a dark romance, I believe. Here it says, it is a dark romance, paranormal, thriller, mystery. I know that it has like thriller vibes too. The first letter arrived the day my husband was buried. Okay, so it's either low rating. Few people gave it 3 stars, but it either has a low rating or like 4 or 5 star rating. But the overall rating on Goodreads is 4.12 stars. Yes. Okay. The next read. Let's see. The green one. The Housemaid. When I tell you, I have been waiting to read this book for the longest time. When I put it in the jar, I was like, I want to get it because I think they are doing a movie of this book, but also everyone read it. Everyone read it. Let me Google very quickly. It's only me left, basically. And I know that some people love it, some people don't, but most of people who are used to reading Freida McFadden books, they say this is one of her better books because, you know, it's a hit or miss for a lot of people, for me too. I hope I love this one. This is the first book in a series. I really want to know what the fuss is about, so I'm so happy about my picks. So yeah, let's get reading. Okay, you guys, I have finished reading not only 2 books, but I've read multiple books because I finished the whole series of the Housemaid series by Freida McFadden because it was so good. After I finished book 1, I was so happy that there are books in that series that is not a standalone because I needed more. I needed more about Millie and Millie's story, and the book, The Housemaid, the first book, was so bingeable. It was so entertaining. I couldn't put it down. In this book, I'm going to talk about book 1. We meet Millie. She's fresh out of prison. She has a lot of, like, of course, financial problems. She's living in her car. She got fired a lot and she cannot land a job. It is so hard for people who went to prison to find a job. And she's actively searching for a job because, I mean, she wants a second chance and she's so desperate until she lands a job at the Winchester house. And when I say house, it's more like a mansion. We're talking a gated estate with perfect lawns and luxury everything. And it seemed like her luck is finally turning until things started getting really, really weird. First of all, they gave her the attic room with a window that does not open, and it's not even the worst part. The worst part is that the door to the attic room does not close from the inside, it only closes from the outside. And also, Nina Winchester, the elegant stay-at-home wife, she only wears white. And also, it's not the weirdest thing, to be honest, but she was so friendly the first time Millie met her during the interview. And then things got a bit weird, I want to say again. She has these days up and down, like where she's like kind, but then it's like it's not the same person anymore. And Millie was like, she was weirded out, but she does not have a choice. The pay is really, really good, beyond her dreams. And she was like, no, I'm staying. I'm definitely staying. She cooks, she cleans, she's scrubbing the house up and down. And she also takes care of their daughter, who is also a bit, yeah, something else. And things start to feel off. Like Nina makes these messes that, like big messes overnight, that she of course expects Millie to clean them the day after. She lies about her own daughter. I'm not going to tell you much. Her husband, Andrew, seems like the perfect husband. He's so warm, he's so kind, he's the perfect husband. And Millie starts noticing that he's quietly falling apart. And things start going downhill, but the Winchesters do not know who they are really dealing with, because we don't know why Millie was in prison. And we don't know if she did it or not. And this was just a twisty, unputdownable psychological thriller that I devoured. The last third part of this book was absolutely insane. My jaw was on the floor. My heart was racing. After finishing book 1, I straight up, opened book 2 and started reading book 2. 5 shining stars, no hesitation. Book 1 had me glued to the page, gasping and grinning. I loved it so much. Highly recommend. So for the whole series, I read the whole thing, book 1, 2, and then the novella after book 2, and then book 3. I gave book 1 and 2 5 stars. I gave the novella, it was cute. I really liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. But for book 3, to be honest, I didn't enjoy it as much as book 1 and 2. I felt like Millie lost her spark. She wasn't as sharp as in the first 2 books. She kind of felt like a different person. Also, the plot dragged in the first half of the book. So I gave that book 3 stars. But as a whole, the whole series, I would highly recommend it, especially book 1 and 2. A chef's kiss. Yeah, I had a great time with these books. Okay, the next book that I read was Pen Pal by J.T. Geissinger. This is a dark romance. I cannot hold myself. This was so good. This is a dark romance with thriller and paranormal elements, I would say. In this book, we are following Kayla. She is in the grieving stage. She recently lost her husband in an awful accident, and she's dealing with that. And she's starting receiving letters from someone who is called Dante. He is incarcerated, but he seems like he really knows her. The first letter that she received from him says, "I will wait forever if I have to." So just out of curiosity, she responded to him and she said, "For what?" And he responded with only one word, and he said, "You." I personally had a strong feeling about what the plot twist was about, as I told you before, because people said that the plot twist was crazy. I had a strong feeling about the plot twist of the book, about 40% in, but that didn't take away from my enjoyment, to be honest, because this was one of the steamiest, the hottest, the steamiest books that I read this year and maybe ever, to be honest. Kayla and Aiden's romance was so tantalizing and intoxicating. I couldn't put it down. And also with everything that is happening in Kayla's life, everything that is happening in her house, and the strange occurrences and the mystery around that, it was unputdownable. We have secrets, we have missing pieces, we have a paranormal activity, and it's not your usual romance. It's not your usual read. If you are like thinking about dark romance, this is not your usual dark romance. I very much enjoyed it. I can't even say too much without spoiling it, but know that if you decide to pick up this book, you need, hear me out, you need to pick up the audiobook too, because Tara Langella and Troy Duran brought this whole thing to life in the best way possible. They brought it to a whole other level. Because I know if I read the book without the audio, it wouldn't have been the same. I just know it. Their voices made me melt. Tara's smooth, sultry voice with Troy's deep, gravelly voice. Absolute fire. The romance was so good. It was everything I didn't know I needed. It was so good. Highly recommend if you are in the mood for a steamy, sizzling romance that will keep you up all night. Pen Pal, this is the one for you. And now I'm currently reading Breathe In, Bleed Out. I'm like maybe 30-40% in, I want to say. And it is about a group of friends who also, we have a grieving fiance, not a wife, fiance. She's the doctor. She's struggling with her memories and with her fiance also died in a very awful accident, but we don't know the details of that. We got some flashbacks. But she's dealing with that. She goes to therapy and she's really having a very, very hard time concentrating on her job. And like, she lost contact with her friends, and she's really, really struggling mentally. And her friends decided to arrange this group treatment spa thing, a very secluded area where there's like this guru who's going to help them with their mental health issue and connect with the spirits and stuff like that. Yeah, and things start to happen. I'm enjoying it so far. The writing is straightforward, and yeah, having a good time with it so far. But I will get back to you once I finish it. Okay, guys, I finished reading Breathe In, Bleed Out. I really enjoyed it because it was the perfect slasher in my opinion. And from the moment they arrive, something feels off, but like, we follow them around their day-to-day life in that retreat and the activities that they do and everything. And there is a lot of yoga involved. So if you love yoga, I think you will enjoy this book. And needless to say, this healing getaway quickly turns into this full-blown slasher nightmare, especially when her friends start vanishing one by one. What I loved about this book is all the kills were very graphic and shocking, and it is exactly like watching a movie, and it really felt like a good old true slasher. And honestly, for a 300 pages slasher, it was very well constructed and written, in my opinion. It was very well paced. The place and the history of the place where they went was fleshed out, the characters too. And it was compacted in a way that where there was no fluff, no extra details we didn't need. It was action-packed. It was the story. From the beginning, we have the meat of the story, if you know what I mean. For 300 pages, it was really well done. And after I finished the book, I was like, talking to myself, I was like, why would people go to these type of retreats where there is no phone, cell phone communication? There was only like a landline. And yeah, I wouldn't do that. You couldn't pay me to do that, even for like a spa healing soul retreat. I don't know. I can't. I will have anxiety. I need to have a connection to the outside world and a connection to call for help if needed. So yeah, it's not something for me. I know some people do that, but I can't. I just can't. I would panic. Like, yeah, I would not enjoy it one bit. But for this book, the idea of the book, I really liked it. Also, I loved the story. It was so much fun. It's not fun for the characters, but like for a slasher type book, it was fun. It was campy. Highly recommend if you want to have a fun, quick, good time slasher. This is for you. And I finally did it. Oh my god. After finishing that slasher, I was like, I'm ready for something heavy. And I decided I'm not going to do the TBR jar because I really, really want to read Alchemised. Now, I didn't finish it. I am right here where you see my bookmark there. I'm at part 3. Part 3, I have this much left. But I can tell you about the book because probably I wouldn't be able to tell you about these pages other than probably it will destroy me. But this is a dark high fantasy. Underline high fantasy and not fantasy romance at all, at all, at all. So if you want to pick up this book, don't expect it to be only about the romance. Don't expect the romance to be the focus of the story because it's so much more. It is about war. It is about losing people you care about. It is about being used and feeling lonely, it was so devastating. There was like, this book is, if you are in a bad place, don't read this book. It's not the book to read when you are already in a bad place, I would say, because it is very devastating. It is very emotional. It is, you feel hopeless. All hope is lost. The bad guy, the evil guy, has won the war, and the book starts from there. And we follow Helena. She's a healer. And of course, these people have magic. The magic system in this book is so interesting. The world building. Oh my God. So in the beginning of the book, to be honest, for me, my experience, it took me around 30% to get into the book, to be honest, because there was a lot of world building, a lot of names, a lot of magic system was a lot too, a lot of terms. And yes, it's a lot. If I'm being honest. So it took me a while to get into the book, but once you do, once you understand what everything means, all the terms and who everyone is and everything, and you start making these connections, yeah, you are hooked. But also at the same time, like, all hope is lost. It is the setting is very dark. It's very depressing. Helena, she didn't get one bit to rest, the poor woman. Like there are these pockets of happiness, these moments that she had with some friends, and 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓, her romance with 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐄. Oh my God. The things that they say to each other, especially towards the end of the book, are so, I don't know how to describe it. It will touch you. It will touch your soul, believe me. And their dialogue is just so deep. I really enjoyed this book. It's not a fast read by any means. It's not a quick book by any means, not because it's long, also because of all the information that you have to take in. And like, as I said, the magic system, yeah, is heavy, a lot of terms and everything. So take your time when you are reading this book. Make notes or tabs or whatever you need. I've seen a lot of reels on Instagram with like the definition of each word, like animancy, vivimancy, necromancy, and all the terms, resonance and stuff. The magic system is, or the magic is called resonance. But yeah, I can see why people love it, and I can see why it is 5 stars, because I'm also probably going to give it 5 stars. I'm still very scared to continue, but I need to finish it. But for now, I'm bracing myself for that ending, because yeah, I know it's going to rip my heart to pieces, and I really I care so much for these characters, because as I said, like, they didn't get a chance to live their dream life, to live like everyone else, like in a normal world, I want to say. This is what happened when there was war, and it's very sad, really sad. So yeah, I'm going to continue reading Alchemised, and let me know in the comments if you already read Alchemised and what you think about it, or if you read one of these books, or if you are interested to read one of these books that I read in this video. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!